it's Views Choice Day here on the Paul Report. The Views decided that the show is happening, so I'm here. I got a few things to talk about, but I'm relying on you, my listeners, to bring something to the table. So please, no anchovies. Stick around, the Paul Report. We'll be right back after this opening, I guess. My little windshield here, whatever you call it, smells badly. I don't know what's been going on down here at night when I'm not here, but it just smells bad. Maybe it's my breath? Oof. Hi, welcome to the show. I am your host, Paul Kravitz. That's me right there. I'm getting better at remembering which side to point at with that there. Okay. Get out of here. All right. How's everyone doing? I'm here. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you for joining. If you're in the chat, please say hello so I can acknowledge you. If it's your first time here, please say hello so I can thoroughly make a big deal out of your first time here. I was off last week. Hey, Michelle. I was off last week for no other reason than I was just didn't feel like doing a show. It happens sometimes. Hey, Mary. Mary's here, which means Eddie can't be far behind because you guys are like Kismet cousins or something. I just made that up. Kismet cousins. Yeah, so I was very low energy last week. Not that I'm super high energy tonight, but I was really low energy last week, and I just didn't feel like having a show. So, I really wanted to do the show tonight. I really, really, really did. But again, I had really nothing prepared. It was kind of sad that I had nothing prepared, and I felt bad. I felt very bad that I had nothing prepared. So I put a couple things together. We'll talk about a couple things. I got some, what do they call it? Listener participation things. If Eddie comes in, we can make fun of him. I could talk about a post that I responded to today, and the person deleted the post, I think, because of me. I hope it wasn't because of me, but we'll talk about that because we all know him. Most of us know him. And hopefully I didn't hurt his feelings. I don't think I did, but you never know. Maybe he was having a tough day, and I don't know. I mean, I guess I could probably talk about that now. Stan's here. Yay, Stan. Yeah, so earlier today, a friend of the show, a receiver of the GFY Award, who was nominated by former co-host Dan Capello, Brian Cooper had a post today that he listened to the Taylor Swift album and found that he only liked one song. And I'm, like, okay. But I said something to the effect of, I'd go back to it, but again, it's gone. I said something to the effect of, when did you become a teenage girl? And he said that, he came back and said it was something to do with his Billboard site that he ranks and listens to albums and then ranks them and stuff like that. So joking around, I said, you could stick with that story. I hope you enjoy your new vagina. And Dan Capello, I guess, responded to that. And when I went to go look at it, it says this post is no longer here. And I'm just wondering, why? Why did you delete it? Brian, Koopa? Was it an embarrassment around the word vagina? It's not a dirty word. It's a good word. And one of my favorite words. And it's present in one of my favorite sound bites. I don't have the sound bite here, and I don't know where it comes from, but the sound bite goes something like this: penis, 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 vagina, vagina, vagina. It's just a word, man. It's female anatomy. I'm just saying. What was that line from oh God, what was it? Risky Business? If you can't say it, you can't do it. Just saying. So if I offended you, Brian, please, honestly, forgive me. I did. It was all in good fun. And I don't know, maybe you have younger followers that may not know what a vagina is. I don't know. I'm not sure why. Why can't Brian be a TS fan and be male? Could you just ask yourself that question back and then answer? It just, to know Brian, I don't know. It just, the guy is so, he's Harley, Motley Crue. He's he's a classic rock kind of guy. And I mean, granted, he didn't like the album, but the fact that he took the time to listen to it, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like a few Taylor Swift songs. I'm not a fan per se. I would never see her in concert, but I like a few of her songs. But I wouldn't listen to the whole album. And I was just making fun. I know, when I assume I make an ass out of everybody else and somebody else. Yeah, I mean, listening to Elvis, I guess maybe that's what tied him into Taylor Swift. Maybe, are they both from Memphis or something? Are they, they both kind of play guitar? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I felt bad in a way, but in the other way, I was like, I know Brian has thicker skin than that. So again, if it was the word vagina that threw you off, vagina, 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 vajayjay, the hoo-hoo dilly, the cha-cha. How many more names can we use? Anyone else want to throw a couple names into the chat? Taco. Not the avenue I was intending to go down, but here we are talking about vaginas. Anyway, again, to Brian, if you end up watching, it's Hoochie. Yes, the Hoochie Coochie. That's right. Side note. Oh, Stan, stop it. If you're truly offended, I don't know what to tell you. It's not like I'm talking in detail about the vagina. I'm just mentioning the word vagina and other words for the vagina. And how many more times in a sentence can I say a vagina? I could say it in Shakespearean, vagina. I can say it in walk-in language, the vagina. Yes. It's good. It's nice. Arnold Schwarzenegger, vagina. Get to the vagina. Hey, take my vagina, please. Hey. I'm Joey. Hey, how you doing? Hey. Okay. I'll never let that go. Yeah, so whatever. One of the stories that I did find today, I did find a new news source for non-political, feel-good stories, if you will. So I read about these glasses. Follow me here. Glasses for people who are deaf or hard of hearing. So a guy by the name of Dan Scarfe, Scarfe, is the founder of a new company that has found a way to unlock conversations for deaf and hard of hearing people. And he says that the idea came to him over Christmas last year with his family. Apparently, Dan's grandfather, who happened to be 97 years old last year, is hearing impaired. So his grandfather is struggling to engage in conversation with the rest of his family. So he was inspired to find a solution so that his grandfather and people like him could participate in conversations in real time. So he says it's just, Dan is quoted as saying, it's just so difficult when there are so many people around you and you're trying to keep track of the different conversations which are going on. It said it got to the point now where he literally just sits there in silence. And I thought, well, hang on a second. He watches TV all the time with subtitles. Why can't we subtitle the world? So 6 months later, his company, in partnership with augmented reality glasses manufacturer Nreal, have unveiled the XR-AI glasses. I don't know if they call it X-ray for XR-AI. I think they do, if I had to make a guess. The X-ray glasses, XR-AI. The AR glasses are connected to a mobile phone which handles the processing and graphics generation. So what the software does is it takes an audio feed from the microphone on the glasses and sends it to the phone. All right? Once it's in the phone, they're effectively turning that audio into closed caption and then taking what they call Nreal software and can project those subtitles into the real world, into the glasses. So now our hard of hearing friends and deaf friends can now read what other people are saying. And Scarfe says that the data or the information will only be stored on the user's personal device as opposed to somewhere in the cloud and will fully be owned by the user. Now, while the new device has been hailed as a game changer with the potential to transform lives by organizations like the Royal National Institute for Deaf People and Deaf Kids with a Z on the end, the invention is obviously not without its hitches. I mean, the transcription is based on the Amazon Alexa transcription service. That damn Jeff Bezos getting his fingers in everything. So it can struggle to understand group conversations when people speak over each other. It also needs a fairly quiet environment for it to be as accurate as possible. But still, he insists that this is the beginning. So the X-ray glass launched its service for the first time about 100 beta testers last Friday. We're going with a small number to begin with to prove it out, to get the feedback, to understand what people like, what they don't like, and rapidly innovate on that. We're hoping that if the wins are behind us, then we will reach general availability by September. I'm guessing this might be an older story. Welcoming Dan to the show. And Eddie is here with what only I could describe as an Eddie comment saying, and I quote, "I'm deaf." Thank you, Eddie. Thank you very much. I said beta testers. Oh. All right. So I think that's a pretty cool idea. I think that's kind of neat that, you could have like subtitles in the eye, in the glasses that you're wearing. And Andre's here. Hello, Andre. So I think that's pretty cool. I mean, do you know someone who is struggling to hear? I know I am. My kids are like, "Dad, you're deaf." Are you really deaf in one ear, Eddie? Because That's like stolen ear valor if you're saying you're deaf in your right ear, but you're actually not. I was sitting to your left at the concert, so you did hear me. All right, I cannot deny. I can neither confirm nor deny. Oh, okay. Well, that we kind of. I'm not deaf, but I'm definitely hard of hearing. I don't hear very well. I had lots of infections in my ears as a kid. I was actually kept out of the Army because on the hearing test, when I kept doing, this is a Jeopardy thing, but in the hearing test, when I went in for my Army physical, they put you in a room, and when you hear a beep, you're supposed to push the button. And I was like hearing beeps all the time. And they were like, number 7, stop pressing your button. And apparently I was number 7. So I did not get allowed entry into the U.S. Armed Forces because of my hearing. What did they used to call that? 4F or something like that? But yeah, that's what happened to me. I was, had a hearing loss of some kind. I still do, obviously. Just ask anyone in my family. They'd be like, oh yeah, he's fucking dumb as a stump, that guy. Oh, all right. I don't know why you would lie about that. People lie about things all the time. Maybe you're trying to curry favor in the world of. I didn't think you would lie. That's not something you lie about. I apologize if I insinuated that I was saying that you were lying. I wasn't. It's funny. I got me on the screen here a few seconds behind. It's kind of weird. Anyway, oh, by the way, new iPhone. So I'll talk about it, Jen. So last week, back on the 22nd, my daughter's birthday, it was her 17th birthday, she wanted to buy herself an iPhone. So she got some of the money herself from working this summer. She got some of the money from her mother, her grandmother, and me. So we went up to New Hampshire, tax-free, big ticket item, and we got the iPhone 14, just the iPhone 14. Now, I was looking at the iPhone 14 Pro because, I'm a guy in technology and whatever, and, but I ended up getting the iPhone 14 just like her. Why? I don't need all the bells and whistles of, the iPhone Pro. I really didn't. I got a beautiful camera that I take pictures with. This is good for quick photos this is for, what is it? Your phone you use for photos, use your SLR, digital SLR, mirrorless SLR for pictures. Okay, so it has a decent camera on it. It's got enough storage on it, blah, blah, blah. Moving forward, over the course of the week, my phone died once. I had to do a hard reset on it. And my daughter came up to me one day and she's like, I think I want to get the 14 Plus. So she researched and found that if we brought it back within 14 days, we could return the old one. So I backed everything up here. We went up to phone is the sperm. He said sperm. So we backed up both our phones. We went up to Pheasant Lane Mall again. We call it the Ferret Lane Mall because, why not? And we exchanged our old phones for the new ones. And the cost difference is only like $100. We traded in our cases. We got new cases. So the total difference was like about $100 and there was no tax. So, Dan, you're so silly. You have an iPhone i9. I know that's a 1. So I got the iPhone 14 Plus, which is a bigger screen. Now, I got to tell you, the iPhone 14 was the same exact size as my iPhone 11. So to be honest with you, and I'm admitting this to everybody, that the reason why I upgraded for the bigger screen is because I felt I had the same phone and I didn't have anything new, So now I have the iPhone 14 Plus. Look at my beautiful wife. Oh, wait a minute. Look at my beautiful wife. Isn't she cute? Isn't she cute? I'm a little thrown off by your question, Stan. You said you were offended by my vagina comment. So, I don't know. Please elaborate on your question, sir. So, my daughter and I both got iPhone 14 Pluses, and I'm happy. I'm good with this for another. I mean, my last iPhone I think I had for like 3 years. I skipped over what, like 3 versions? So, or 2 versions? 2 versions I skipped over. So, I'm good until the iPhone 17. So yeah. But all right, I'll go back to the vagina thing because it's a viewers content show. Dan, when I went to go view your comment on Brian's post, the whole post was gone. And I had asked you separately what you said. And you just, laughed at my comment, and then all of a sudden the post is gone. I don't understand why Brian deleted the post. I just don't know if it was the word vagina or if it was something else. Thanks, Janice. Thanks for making it uncomfortable. Appreciate that. All I need now is my mother and, my mother-in-law in the room, and I'm just going to be in heaven. Seems the only time my mother-in-law joins the show is when I'm, like, talking dirty or using foul language or something. But I haven't used any foul language today because... Oh, that's what you said. Okay, you said Paul Kravitz said you have a vagina. And I don't know, maybe he took offense to that. Do you think he took offense to me saying that, be happy with your vagina or something? Because he listened to Taylor Swift and, I mean, I don't know. What should I think? I mean, maybe we need to get Brian on here and explain himself and say if he's pissed. If he's pissed, I'll apologize. If he's not pissed and he just deleted it because he was embarrassed by the word vagina, I don't know. I don't know what Brian's up to. He's probably having a big juicy Pepsi tonight. Someone want to go on to onto Facebook and see where Brian is tonight, because guaranteed there's a picture of where he is tonight somewhere. What was uncalled for already? My vagina comment? No, I don't want Brian to be pissed. That's not my goal. No, Brian's a good guy. I don't want him to be pissed. I just wanted to know if I offended him or not, or if what happened, why he deleted the post. I mean, I delete posts every once in a while, but it's not, normally not because of what someone said. It's just that I may have said something stupid. Oh, that's right too. It's either where he's out or what he's watching. And what's with I hate to make this all about Brian, but what's with the movies he's watching? I mean, there was a movie poster about, Eddie, you have to stop. You're killing me, man. Telling me I go so far is like telling you that something. So take that. And a double dumb ass on you. All right. Hold on, I gotta take a drink. My throat hurts. I don't know, man. Some damn movie scene. Yes. What was that one? It's like, you shove it up your ass, HUD. I saved myself by giving the Navajo chief a son. So basically, you sold yourself, you hoed yourself out, and you want someone to leave you alone. I don't understand that movie poster. I don't. Hey, you leave Mary alone. You don't talk to Mary that way. Oh, no. No. The chief. Yeah, I'm sorry. It was the chief. That's right. It wasn't, it was the chief. Oh, man. Yeah, kind of bad. I mean, it's indicative of the world that they were living at the time, but still pretty bad. Pretty bad. Let's see. Do I have a health update today? Nah, I don't think so. I was in the ER with my daughter on Monday. Not the place you want to be on Halloween, but nonetheless, we found ourselves there. She's fine. It's one of those hindsight is 2020. I should have never took her there. Yeah. You tell him, Mary. You tell him. Yeah. All right. First off, I have to put in this. First, Eddie said this. And then Mary said this. Yeah. I love it when you guys fight. It just brings such joy to the boys and girls in the show. Yes. Yes. So I hope everyone had a nice Halloween. I hope there doesn't seem to be a lot of trick-or-treaters in many areas. So, again, I was in the ER, so I didn't have much of a... They ain't giving away candy at the hospital either. Not at Mass Gen. They were giving away, like, sticks and stuff like that. I didn't call Mary a hoe. What? Eddie, you're just starting trouble. What's the phrase I'm looking for? Oh, the phrase that pays. Shut up, Eddie. No. I kid. I don't even like the word shut up. All right, the two words. I don't like them together. I like shut. Shut the front door. Up the elevator goes. Up your ass. But shut and up together? Don't like it. Don't like it one bit. Anyway, so the other item that I came up with this week is there is a supermercado in the UK that is going to work to remove the best if used by and the sell by date from foods. And the reason why they want to do this is because they want to minimize food waste. Now, I know there's a person in my household who has a big head of hair. And he was on my show last week. And if he sees the milk is past the date or is on the date that is on the container, he ain't drinking it. That's the phrase that pays, Dan. That's the phrase that pays. And he will not drink that milk. He will go without his lifeblood drink, the thing that he needs, like Luke drinking the blue milk. Joel cannot go a day without drinking his milk. And if he has to, wow, watch out. Joel, crazy in the head. No, look out. Ouch. He'll hurt you. So, but first of all, we need to understand what each thing means. Best by, use by, freeze by, whatever. So here's what they mean. The best if, use by, or before date is a quality assurance date and serves as a suggestion for when the taste and quality of a food are at their peak. It is neither a purchase or a safety date. Okay? Use by. This is the suggested date by which you should eat the food. But just because it's a day or two past the use by date doesn't mean that consuming it's going to kill you. Although you should always evaluate the quality of the food yourself after this date. It's not a safety date except when it has to deal with infant formula. That's the one caveat to all of this is infant formula. Now, the sell-by date, this is not a safety date either, but rather a date for retailers that helps them determine how long an item should remain on the shelf. Now, according to the IFT, whatever that is, 1/3 of a food's shelf life remains after the sell-by date for the consumer to use at home. So, for instance, if the sell-by date is the 15th, is the 12th, then you still have 6 days to eat it. Anyway, the freeze-by date is according to the USDA. This is the date that indicates when a product should be frozen to maintain peak quality. It is, again, neither a purchase or a safety date. Okay? So how long are foods good for after the expiration date? As I mentioned before, infant formula is the exception to the rule, but if the date on your food passes during home storage, a product should still be safe and wholesome if handled properly until the time spoilage is evident. Okay? You can tell if a food is spoiled if it has an odd flavor. An off odor, an off flavor, or a texture. Eddie, I understand what you're saying, and I do appreciate you bringing this up, but I did make some kind of deal with myself that I would not talk politics. Now, again, this is viewer-sponsored reviewer-sponsored Paul Report. So if you want to talk politics, Eddie, just bring it up in the chat. Like, say, hey, Paul, how do you feel about the governor's race in Massachusetts? Then I am bound by duty to the show. I said duty. I am bound by duty. I said it again. It's like Peter Griffin. I said duty. So I would have to talk about it. So just saying. All right. With that in mind, here are the recommended. I said duty again. With that in mind, there were recommended expiration date guidelines for common foods that people throw away too early. So eggs. Eggs can be eaten within 3 to 5 weeks when refrigerated. Okay, yogurt within 2 weeks when refrigerated, 2 months when it's frozen. Milk can be drunk within 1 week when refrigerated or 3 months when frozen. Do you hear me, Joel? Milk is typically good for a week after the expiration date, 3 months when it's frozen. And you know how I know that? Because my pappy told me that when I was a young boy, and he was working for Sunnyhurst. And he said in his dad voice, "What are you throwing that milk away for? It's still good for another week, you little bastard. What do you think, milk grows on trees?" Like, no, Dad, it comes from cows. I know that. But he worked at Sunnyhurst as a driver, and he delivered milk all the time. And I'm not going to say a few gallons of milk or those little half pints of chocolate milk didn't end up in our fridge every once in a while. Side story, Janice, if you're still listening, there was a time when Dad brought home those little half pints we used to get in school. We had like a whole crate of it. It's awesome. But this was a special batch, and it was made in error with actual like cream or real milk. So this was like drinking at the time, not now, because they taste completely different since they closed and reopened, but it tasted like drinking a Yodel. Oh, how cool is that? Anyway, let's catch up with what's going on in the chat here, because I have a feeling I've lost the audience. Let's see. No, not true. Once you open that milk, the time is accelerated. All right. I believe, Eddie, in my experience, that I have drunk milk up to a week past the expiration date. Now, I only say this because I am very conscious of the date, because my curly-haired friend upstairs who is just militant about it. So sometimes, I'll scratch off the date or I'll make a big 9 where it says like 7. But no, I mean, I've had it several days past the expiration date and it's been fine. And trust me, I have a sensitive palate to spoiled milk. Trust me, when you take a big old heaping of spoiled milk that you think is good and it's actually spoiled, you don't forget that horror. And yes, Andre, I remember the milkman too, when he used to bring it in glass with the little paper cap, and the milk and the milk and the cream, or whatever the two sides of it were separating. You have to shake it. Damn good. Of course, I haven't had whole milk in years. I can't stomach it these days. It's just so. I'm sorry if my daughter's watching. Let's see, what else did I have in here? Butter! Butter you can eat within 3 months when refrigerated, within 6 months when frozen. Bacon you can eat within 2 weeks unopened, or 1 week when it's opened, when refrigerated, within 1 month when it's frozen. Packaged cold cuts? I never understood cold cuts. Anyway, eat within 2 weeks unopened or 5 days opened, when refrigerated, 2 months when frozen. Hot dogs, eat within 2 weeks unopened or 1 week opened. When refrigerated, of course, within 1 to 2 months when frozen. Why is this on here? I don't know, but ketchup, eat it within 6 months open. When refrigerated, can store in pantry for up to 1 year unopened. Mayonnaise, never eat it, don't care. Jams and jellies, eat within 6 months opened. When refrigerated, can store in your pantry for up to 1 year unopened. Rice and dried pasta, the cockroaches will be around to eat it, and they'll have no problem. Now, this is what I don't understand. They brought up, I know what cold cuts are, Eddie. You call me stupid or something? I just don't know why they're called cold cuts. They should be called, sliced meats. Oh, Eddie. Oh, that. Eddie, that hurt. That hurt a lot. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. Here, look at this picture of Liz Truss for a few seconds. I gotta compose myself. Oh, God. All right, who's buzzing me here? Jesus Christ. I understand they're cold cuts of meat, but they're just, I don't know, it just sounds wrong. Cold cuts. I don't know. And they're not really cut as they are sliced. I was like 55 years old when I found out that the little piggy that went to market was actually being sold so it can be killed and chopped up for meat. I was 55 years old when I realized that. I thought he was going shopping. I thought he was going to buy some stuff, and that's why he wasn't home for dinner. So, yeah. A little piggy gone to market. He didn't get a Snickers bar. He was the Snickers bar. Okay. Anyway, moving on. All right. You know what? Let's talk politics. That little piggy was dinner. Yes, he was. Can we really call it meat? Lord knows there's no real meat. Oh, there is, Eddie. There is real meat. I worked at a deli. I know. There was real meat in there. How much? Who knows? But no. The meat that we served at the deli at Stop and Shop was real meat. We had the prosciutto di Parma. That's the good shit. That's the stuff they get to make a pizza gainer around Easter. I want a pound of the prosciutto di Parma, and you ought to better give me the di Parma, and I'll know the difference. Oh, those people, I hated them at the deli. You needed a slice of it thinner than this. Yep. Oh, mortadella. like bologna with fat pockets. The fudge was up. Who the hell is eating the mortadella? And they always said it that way. It's like you can have the Whitey McWhitest person come up and they'll be like, yeah, can I have some ham, some cheese, and I need some mortadella. Mortadella means dead Della. I'm not ragging on Italians. I'm just saying that people become Italian when they order mortadella. Hey, give me a pound of that gabagoo. I worked in a deli. I have no idea what gabagoo is, okay? I know what prosciutto is. I know what, what was the other one? There was another one, supasata. I know what that is, but I never had anyone... never had anyone come up and say, give me a pound of the gabagoo. You got the gabagoo? Nobody has ever. Capicola, that's another one that I know about. That's the one I was trying to think of. I like the nice hot Capicola. Really? Kanye Kravitz? Really? I'm not making fun of Jews. Although I could, but I won't. Kanye Kravitz. Wow, Eddie. That's twice today. You really hurt me. Wait. Capicola is gabagoo? As Tony Soprano would say, you gotta be fucking shitting me. Capicola is gabagoo. Tell me you're kidding. Tell me you're serious, Andre, because if it is, then I've served the gabagoo. I'm the great gabagoo. Okay. Oh my God. It's not. Oh, so you're messing with me. Well, did you know that ye is actually pronounced the, T-H-E, as opposed to ye? Because back in the day, there was a symbol that they used for the, or TH, I should say. There was a symbol they used for the. And when they got rid of that, the closest thing they had was a Y. So they put the Y in there instead of this symbol. So everyone just said ye old whatever. But it's actually the, T-H-E. It's supposed to be the. So, little side note for you there. All right. I did work in a deli, Eddie. At 4 times tonight, did you? Eddie, you're just on a roll tonight, man. You're just like angry. Why are you so angry? Why are you so angry, man? I mean, you know, probably only hearing half the words I'm saying. So maybe that's why you're angry. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, positive. Okay. Do I have anything else left here? I had more food stuff, but Eddie bored of that, so I can't do it anymore because Eddie was bored of it. All right, so next week, we will be living in a new world. Okay? We'll either be living in a world where things go to disappear, possibly, or things go a different way. Are either way the right way? Depends on who you ask. Is one way better than the other? It depends on who you ask. You talk about my grandma? You talk about my grandma that way? Look, Eddie, you want to talk about my grandmama, I will come out there. What? Oh, grammar? Oh, sorry. Never mind. I thought you said something else. So yeah, by this time next week, there will either be one of two things going on. There will either be people who won elections, and there'll be people who lost elections. I cannot tell you if people who lost the election will believe they lost the election. But I have a feeling that things are going to be crazy. And I think that people need to go out and vote for your candidate of choice, whether they be on the left or the right or in the center or on the far right or on the far left. Go out and vote. Have your voice be heard. Now, next week's show is going to feature, at least I believe there's a way we're going to do this, and we're still in the planning stages, so I'm going to speak the names, but I'm not sure how it's all going to work yet or if it's actually going to happen the way I'm thinking of it. But I will have some guests on next week. Someone from the right, someone from the left, and I can try and find a libertarian for the middle. Okay? Now, what I would like to do is have a civil conversation about the election and what it means to us. Okay? Now, I don't mind spirited debate. I don't mind that. So that can happen. I will probably use my Zoom to get everybody in because the software that I pay a yearly fee for some reason doesn't work when I'm live on Facebook to do my interviewing with. So I have to go to Zoom, which works beautifully. So that'll be our show next week. Now, I'm going to come out and, well, I know Stan will do it. I don't know if Eddie will do it. I would love for him to do it because he seems to be very in touch with the liberal pulse, and Stan is very much in tune with the conservative pulse, and I think that would be a great discussion. And I can't mediate because I'm on the left, and I'll just side with Eddie on most things. Is it really, though, Eddie? I think this election is going to be... Oh, where are you, Stan? Are you the libertarian? Because I always thought you were conservative. And a debate after the fact can be fun. Because this election cycle, Eddie, it's going to get crazy. It's going to last several days. There's not going to be like back in the old days at like midnight going, well, it's been called for the Senate race in Ohio and so is won. Because it's going to be, well, there has been no concession speech yet and they don't plan on doing one. So we're going to take this over to John King at the big board and we'll find out what's going on. Oh, okay. Well, then we have the libertarian on one side and we have the liberal on the other. We can try and find someone who is conservative. Maybe a discussion. Yeah, maybe that's a better word, Eddie. If we call it a discussion, will that work for you, sir? Pardon my grammar faux pas. I think a nice discussion, a post-election discussion. I'll even make some fun graphics, and we'll have some fun with it. So I think we can have Eddie on the right, and then Stan on the left, just to play with people. But if you're in the desert next week, that means you'll be 3 hours behind us. So, or at least 2. So it'll be 7 by, so you should be up 7. 7. No? All right. We'll leave the replay on for you there, Mayor. We'll leave the light on for you. All right. 2 hours in Arizona? Okay, so it'll be 7 o'clock there when I do the show. So you should be awake enough. Yeah. You'll be done golfing. You'll be sitting back with an umbrella drink or a beer. And you'll be enjoying. Oh, you know what? I didn't even mention this. But maybe I did. We went to the show a couple weeks ago. The New England Film Orchestra. And we had a blast. Eddie was there. Mary was there. Her husband was there. My wife, Jen, was there. It was a great time. We had a good time. Good time. So for all the folks who didn't want to go, you missed a good time. Parking, a little challenging, but it was a good time. Who do you golf with? Did I miss a conversation? No? Who do you golf with? Oh, you golf with the beers and the margaritas. Oh, sorry. A little slow in the uptake. Yes, thank you, kid from Jerry Maguire. Eddie. The human head weighs 8 pounds. Cute kid in the back seat. You're the cute kid in the back seat, Eddie. You are. So yeah, we had a good time at the concert. I had a great time. All right. So next week, I will work out the particulars with the parties involved. If you want to tell your friends about it, by all means, tell your friends. I'll have a post about it. The game. Oh, you're watching the baseball game tonight, Stan? Is anyone really watching the World Series? I know there was a no-hitter last night. That's pretty cool. I mean, took 3 pitchers or 4 pitchers or whatever, but it's still a no-hitter. It's not like the Don Drysdale. Or, who was it? Was it Don Drysdale who did the no-hitter in 56? Or was it someone else? Don something? Sparky Anderson? Billy Martin? Who was it that did the no-hitter in 56? No, Don Drysdale was on the Brady Bunch, I think. Hey, Siri, who pitched the no-hitter in 1956 World Series? Don Larson. I was right. It was Larson. Huh. Oh, no, he threw a perfect game. Don Larson, the 5th game's only postseason perfect game in Major League history. And only one of 2 postseason no-hitters. So it was Don Larson for the perfect game, not Drysdale. Says it right here on Siri. Oh, went away. Siri? Siri? Hey, Siri? When's my appointment? I had an appointment. All right. Kind of went off the rails here. Isn't that true, Eddie? Isn't that true? Soccer is so boring when there's no scoring. And it's not like there's a lot of scoring in soccer in the first place. I mean, 1-0 is a normal score that I see. 2-0, 2-1, 3-1 maybe if they're all drinking. But yeah, but a no-hitter in baseball apparently is very exciting. I once heard someone make a joke about, they call like a basketball game when it's really like exciting and stuff going on. They call it a barn burner. Think some farmer ever watched his barn being burnt down going, looks like a basketball game. It's my straight facing emoji. That's pretty straight. Okay. All right, everyone. Look, I'm going to get out of here because I loved having you guys here, though, tonight. I really appreciate everyone sticking by and everyone who was listening. And I don't know if everyone who is actually here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Already counted you. 6. Janice was here. I don't know if she's still here. Well, we know Brian's not here because he's either watching a movie or agonizing over the word vagina. Yeah. What about tennis? You go from 0 to 15 like that. Then from 15 to 30. Then 30 you go to 40. And you have to make 0 sound somewhat appealing, so they call it love. And then from 40 you go to advantage. I don't get it. Scoring in sports is just crazy. Crazy, I tell you. All right, people. Stan, Eddie, Andre, Mary, Jen, Dan, Michelle, Mary. I said Mary already. Who else am I missing? I said Dan. I don't want to miss anybody tonight. Oh my God. I said Stan. I don't know. Who else was here. Michelle. Janice was here. That's the one I was missing. Janice. And let's see. Michelle and Jan. I already said. Okay, so I pretty much got everybody. But yeah, there's a few more people listening. So thank you for listening, whoever you are. I do appreciate it. This has been the Paul Report. We'll be back next week with our post-election coverage of the hell that we now call the United States of America. All right, everyone. Don't forget douche. Eddie? What are you talking about? Oh, Eddie. Deuce. Not douche. Deuce. That's probably why you got thrown off the tennis courts. You'd be yelling, douche! I thought this was going back to the vagina conversation. So. If anyone talks to Brian, find out what happened. Let us know next week on The Paul Report. All right, everyone. Have a good week. Thanks for coming. Thanks for sticking around. Hey, you know what? If you see any interesting stories out there in your travels of the world in your daily life, send me a link. I'd like to say it. See it. See it, say it, spray it. Thought he said it on porpoise. I'm just kidding. You said purpose. I thought he did too. All right, everyone. For the last time, good night, Irene.